Alright, so boom. First and foremost, you may be asking yourself, who is this brother shining in the light? Who is this brother glistening on my second screen? Well, I've been anointed by God to deliver you information that you must have ingrained into your brain. Allow it to be consumed by your eardrums. Okay, have you at any point in your life found yourself laying on a bed, sitting on the couch, contemplating, deliberating, pondering, considering starting a podcast? Hey Jim, we actually have very good conversations. I think we should broadcast this to the youth. Well, I'm sorry about that, Carl. We don't have the appropriate equipment. We don't even have a mic. Well, I have the solution for you. My good friend, childhood friend, hell, we used to be neighbors, Samuel Dulcine, the host of the Black Real Estate Dialogue, has now launched a webinar along with an ebook with information to start a podcast. Who's Samuel Dulcine? What's the Black Real Estate Dialogue? Take a look at the shirt. You see the B, you see the R, you see the E, you see the D, the Black Real Estate Dialogue. And I know some of you guys who are big grammar freaks are going to say, well, you can't spell the word bread without the A. He forgot a letter in betwixt the E and the D. That defeats the purpose of the entire abbreviation. You don't go to the U.S. government and tell them, why do you call it the USA when it's the United States of America? You forgot a letter. Where's the O? This ain't the Wheel of Fortune. You don't willy-nilly go out and buy vowels. The hell's wrong with you? That's stupid. Use your common sense. But that's not what we're talking about right now. My brother, Samuel Dulcine, launched a webinar along with an ebook with advice on how to start a podcast. In his ebook, he discusses 9 things that you must consider and execute in order to grow your podcast. Number 1, defining your why. Why do you even want to get into this podcasting game? Are you only doing it for clout? Are you only doing it to be heard? All right. Are you providing a need for the people's demands? With Sam, you will go over what your why is, find out what that is so you can make sure you deliver the best podcast possible. Number 2, equipment options. He will walk down the line of your budget and what you can afford to make sure you can bring forth the best podcast possible. You know how many people have DM'd me? What camera do you use? What mic do you use? What interface do you use? What streaming service do you use when you're bringing forth a podcast? Man, most people don't have that kind of money when they start. You can't expect to put out a product like the Joe Rogan podcast, put out a product like all the top podcasters before you even start. That makes no sense. That's stupid. Use your common sense. We're going to work our way around your budget, and with this ebook, you'll be able to figure out the right equipment options. That's number 2. Number 3, hosting options. You'll figure out where your podcast can be hosted, and he'll walk you through step by step, finding the right places, whether that's iTunes, whether that's Spotify, whether that's SoundCloud, whether that's YouTube, whether that's anywhere, on a website, wherever it may be. He will figure this out for you, and you will learn this as you go through the ebook. Number 4, preparing your social media and your promotions. Let me tell you something about Sam and the Black Real Estate Dialogue. They started their podcast on October 14th, 2019. That's approximately 227 days ago. 7 months, 13 days. He's already amassed over 10,000 followers on Instagram, over 13,000 downloads across all social media platforms and anywhere you can listen to podcasts. Okay, this brother knows exactly what it is that needs to be done when you're trying to grow a successful podcast. When it comes to social media, he's going to tell you the ins and outs, ways to drop your 2 cents, ways to grow. You know how many people have found themselves on social media where they don't even have 1,000 followers, don't even have 100 followers, and don't seem to know how to grow? He's going to tell you how in 7 months he's gone to 0 to 10,000. He's going to let you know how he got that far. Number 5, finding guests. He's going to tell you how to reach out to people and get them on your podcast. You know how many people feel as if they can't reach out to nobody? I can't talk to them. They going to feel like they too Hollywood for little old me. Sam's going to break down how to get in contact with those individuals. Number 6, recording and editing. Step by step, a breakdown of the best editing softwares that you can utilize to edit your podcast. Too many times people feel very lazy. Man, I don't know how to edit. I don't know what to do. Well, with the ebook of the Black Real Estate Dialogue hosted by Samuel Dulcine, he will make sure that you understand how to edit and break down your audio or your video if that's included as well. Number 7, he's going to tell you how to promote. He's going to tell you how to advertise your podcast, how to get it in front of all of the people that it needs to be in front of. Oftentimes, people feel as if, man, nobody's ever going to hear me. I don't got enough followers. Well, guess what? Sam's going to walk you through how to promote your stuff. Number 8, branding. He's going to teach you to understand your brand. Find out what your brand is and maximize that. Can't just be sitting out here and don't know what your brand is. Figure out your brand, and luckily you can have somebody walk you through that process with the ebook from Sam Dolcine. And finally, number 9, how to monetize your podcast and make that money. Who doesn't like money? I like money. You like money. We all like money. Money, money. Yeah, yeah. Rest in peace, Shad Gaspar. But we ain't talking about that right now. On to the webinar. This is another, option. If you don't feel like getting the ebook, you can go and get your hands on the webinar where he goes over 6 key points in there as well. 1, the messages that he sends to his guest. Ways to really build that relationship. It's not, oh, well, we have a guest. You come on, and then the very next day, oh, we don't speak anymore. I don't remember you. No, you got to be able to build that relationship, cultivate that relationship. You'll find yourself sitting at Thanksgiving with this individual, but we ain't talking about that right now. On to number 2. Organization tools. You've got to learn how to organize your podcast. Make sure all the things around the podcast is organized. You can't just have everything all over the place. You can't have it all over the place looking messy. Nobody's trying to be messy unless you play for Argentina, but we ain't talking about that right now. On to number 3, his editing process. You know how many people struggle with learning if they're just reading off of a paper? You know how many people struggle with learning if they're just watching somebody else do it? He's going to walk you through step by step how he edits, and that's going to make things so much easier for you. Number 4, captions and tweets that he uses to monetize and drive traffic to his podcast. This is essential. You have to learn how to drive traction to your website, drive traction to your podcast, and Sam breaks it down step by step in his webinar. Number 5, what he does to grow his Instagram by 1,000 every single week. We're not saying grow by 1,000 every month. We're not talking about grow by 1,000 every quarter. Not grow by 1,000 every year. Not grow by 1,000 every decade. Every single week. That's 7 days. This brother been growing, getting bigger, all right? And it's going Super Saiyan every single week. Do you want to go Super Saiyan? You better go and purchase this doggone webinar. He going to teach you step by step how to get a bigger following like that. Number 6, worksheets and trackers so you can stay on top of things. You'll even be invited into the private Facebook group so you can learn from each other. This brother is going above and beyond to make sure individuals trying to get into the podcast game can continue to grow. There's over 700,000 podcasts. Don't sit at home and feel as if, man, I don't feel like I should make a podcast. Everything's already being talked about. Well, you can jump in here and add your individual flair. Add your personality that nobody else has. Okay? Add something to the podcast game, and who knows? With his help, you can jump to number 1 on Spotify. You can jump to number 1 on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or all those, sort of things. He is going to help you, and it's the best possible option. You can hop on the ebook, you can hop on the webinar, or you can get both in a bundle. The pre-sale ends today, but it will always be available for your purchasing. Grab the ebook for $9.99. That's not even $10. A penny goes a very long way. But if you got a subscription to the WWE Network, consider this another WWE Network. It just so happened to be an ebook to create a podcast that'll last for the rest of your life. You can also get on the webinar. It's only $14.99, not even $15. 1 penny goes a very long way. You can get both together. Mélanger, Rosetta Stone, Haitian Creole. Okay, that means together. That means mixed together. Both the webinar and the ebook for $19.99. It's been only 227 days and he's already amassed over 10,000 followers on Instagram. Okay, over 13,000 downloads, and he's going to continue to grow. If you don't take advantage of this, I'm not sure how you're going to get your podcast off the ground. Okay, I'm going to leave all the links that you will need in the description, and also as a top pinned comment. If you're watching this on Instagram, it's going to be in my bio. I'm going to have the link in my link tree. Tap in, get this information in your pocket, and learn how to go out there and podcast.